Now at 9, rescue teams battle rising waters in their search for a 12-year-old still missing after a tragic train accident. Plus, how plans to widen Interstate 44 will give emergency crews more room and make your drive safer. And after thousands are trapped in a concert traffic jam last week in Branson, the Missouri Highway Patrol breaks down what happened and what's next.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The search for a body continues for a second day following a train and pedestrian crash. This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. One teen is confirmed dead, and authorities are still searching for the body of the second child after the accident yesterday afternoon in Neosho County, Kansas. It happened at the Trestle Railroad Bridge over the Neosho River south of Erie, Kansas. According to the Kansas Highway Patrol, 16-year-old Arthur Polries of Walnut, Kansas, and 12-year-old Colin Showalter of Erie, Kansas, were running on the bridge when they were hit by a Union Pacific train. Authorities have recovered Arthur's body, but they are still searching for Colin. Several state agencies, along with rescue teams from Chanute, Pittsburgh, and Anderson County, are assisting with the ground, water, and air search. The sheriff says the Neosho River is still very high, making conditions hard to deal with, and the water is expected to rise even higher tomorrow. Well, Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty joins us now with a first look at weather.
Well, and it definitely turned out to be a warm one for us today. 89 for an afternoon high. We started at 65. Average high is 87 degrees, so just a smidge above where we should be, but it gets a little bit hotter over the next couple days. We start near 70 on your Friday. We have plenty of sunshine, temperatures warm. By the afternoon, I think most of us 91, 92 degrees, plus our humidity is going to be a little bit on the high side, which means our heat index is going to be up there near 100. As we go into Saturday, so kicking off your weekend, much of the same, pretty much clear skies, high temperatures right around 90 degrees. Pretty much clear skies, have a few thunderstorms that shouldn't make it here out across western parts of Kansas. So through the night, 75 by 7, our overnight low near 70 degrees. We'll look at your weekend here in a bit.
All right, thanks, Doug. Well, some folks in Southwest Missouri will now have a say in road projects that will impact your ride to work in the future. The Ozarks Transportation Organization is developing its road work priorities for the next few years, and one of the biggest ones is the widening of Interstate 44. Reagan DiTrolio reports.
We have crashes periodically. It's one of our highest crash areas, and when that happens, we have huge delays in traffic.
Especially here at Stratford, we've responded to a lot of motor vehicle accidents.
Stratford's Assistant Fire Chief Rusty Darnell says widening I-44 in Springfield and Stratford gives his crews more room to move when responding to crashes.
It widens it out for us for our work area. And sometimes our work area is in the ditch, but sometimes it's right there in the middle of the road. And the more pavement we have out there to divert the traffic around us, the better.
Ozarks Transportation Organization's Executive Director Sarah Fields says the I-44 project is part of OTO's improvement plan for 2026 through 2029. She says around $175 million is paying for interstate improvements to aid drivers and first responders both.
When we do have a crash, there's no room for emergency responders to work, and so this will allow emergency responders to still have a lane open while working on the side of the road, giving them some space to move.
I know you've seen some of the MoDOT trucks with the crash protection in the back. We don't have that. We're not offered that luxury, so our fire truck is our crash protection.
We just really want to give our emergency responders room to work and allow them to close 2 lanes when needed.
OTO officials will also discuss other road projects in Republic and in Ozark, as well as a variety of trail projects. Well, Freeman Health System celebrates a milestone birthday in Joplin today. The healthcare provider blew out the candles on 100 years of service in the city. It marked the occasion with a rededication ceremony looking back on just how far Freeman Health System has come in Joplin since 1925.
You know, Freeman has invested in the community through time, treasure, talent, and I think through that, Freeman has established unprecedented trust in the community here and also really in the surrounding community.
Freeman Health System began with a staff of just 19 nurses and 5 doctors in 1925. Since then, it has expanded to serve as the region's largest single employer with 5,300 clinicians, physicians, and employees. The SEK Juneteenth Foundation hosts a parade to celebrate Juneteenth today. The purpose of the parade is to celebrate equality and to bring the community together. The parade took place on Main Street in Parsons, which followed by a speaker talking about Juneteenth history at City Hall.
What it's about, I want everybody to have a great time, to get educated, and to celebrate the goodness of all the things that has gone on in Parsons, because there's a lot of Black history here.
The celebration will continue this evening with an event in Glenwood Park, and festivities will take place all through the weekend with plans for basketball tournaments, food trucks, and more. The celebration concludes on Sunday with a church service also taking place at Glenwood Park. Well, coming up, close to 100 million adults may have a silent liver disease. How one woman's fight is revealing the hidden danger and hope for a cure. But first, the FDA approves the world's only twice-a-year HIV prevention shot, a breakthrough in the fight against AIDS. The FDA approves the world's only twice-a-year shot to prevent HIV, the virus that causes AIDS. The vaccine is marketed under the name Yeztugo, and it can be used by both men and women. 2 clinical trials show the injection is nearly 100% effective at stopping new HIV infections. The medical breakthrough comes as the Trump administration eyes deep cuts to HIV prevention funding.
I spoke to a spokeswoman today from Gilead. She said it's going to be about $28,000 a year at list price. But they're making all sorts of efforts, she said, to make it more widely available to everyone. But the problem, of course, is in the United States, we have decreased support from federal programs, both inside the United States and abroad, for HIV prevention. So the question remains, are we going to be able to have access and use and instructions for people who need it?
It's unclear how much insurance would cover for the shot. There are still more than 30,000 new infections of HIV in the U.S. each year. Well, where you live could impact your recovery after a stroke, and that's according to new research from the University of Illinois, Chicago. The study finds having poor access to food or living in a low-income neighborhood leads to stroke patients experiencing a worse recovery. Even how strong a patient support network of family and friends played a role in recovery, but the study did not find those factors impacted stroke survival rates. And having a positive life outlook could protect you from memory loss. A study published in the journal Aging and Mental Health looked at thousands of people over 50 for 16 years and found people who said they had higher levels of psychological well-being had better scores on memory tests. The study's authors say the reasons are not clear, but it is known that depression and anxiety can impact brain health. It's estimated to affect up to 100 million adults in the U.S., but many have no idea they have fatty liver disease. If left untreated, one type of the disease can lead to cirrhosis, liver cancer, and raise the risk of heart conditions. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has more on the disease and what one who has it wants everyone to know.
In 2001, at the age of 45, Pam Miller went in for gastric bypass surgery.
I was finally going to get rid of all the weight that I had because I weighed nearly 300 pounds then.
But she says that surgery was aborted. There was a major problem with her liver, and she had no idea.
I really had no symptoms. Even my blood work was normal.
Back then, Miller says she didn't know anything about non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. It's caused by a buildup of fat in the liver that interferes with the organ's functioning, and that's what she was diagnosed with. On top of that, her doctor told her it was stage 4.
He told me I had approximately 6 years to live, that there was no cure, and, basically, good luck.
Miller decided to get a second opinion at the Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center and learned about how lifestyle changes can help. For her, that meant weight loss.
It's so important to really increase awareness for this condition and for patients to ask their doctors whether or not they need to be screened for it.
Dr. Vivek Mendarata says sometimes blood work can detect a problem, but there's also a screening called FibroScan that quickly examines the liver.
It's essentially just an ultrasound that takes about 10 or 15 minutes. There's no poking, no needles.
It's now been 24 years since her diagnosis, and Miller is still maintaining healthy habits.
I think this is God's will, that I'm supposed to get out and teach others that you need to listen to your body.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The doctor says there are many potential medications on the horizon, and one that's already been FDA approved is called Rezdiffra. It's been shown in studies to reduce inflammation and scar tissue development in the liver and can work hand in hand with lifestyle changes like weight reduction and blood sugar control. Well, Doug is next with a complete look at your forecast. And later, home renovation prices are climbing due to tariffs on key supplies. How you can avoid sticker shock.
Well, of course, a warm day or teetering on a hot day across the region for us today, upper 80s to near 90 degrees. Gets a little bit hotter as we go through the next couple days, but we are dry, which is good. Past day, we have been on the dry side. We do have some thunderstorms out across western Kansas. They're not going to make it here. They're going to fall apart before they do make it here. What gave us all the severe weather is this upper level wave across the eastern third of the country, but focus on this now. You can see the clockwise rotation, big dome, high pressure, moving right in, right on top of us as we go through the next few days. So when you're under high pressure, especially in the summer months, you're hot and you're dry. And that's what we're going to see as we go through the next several days. Let me take you through the weekend. High pressure slowly meanders its way off toward the east, still close enough to keep us hot and dry. As we go through early next week, slowly kind of breaks down. Now watch how the moisture return from the Gulf right into the Central Plains. A very typical summer-like pattern where you heat up, you have sunny skies, you get a random thunderstorm during the afternoon, but we're pretty much going to do that every single day next week. High pressure breaks down late next week, and we get some weak little waves which kind of push through the region. Let me take you through the next couple days. Thunderstorms to the west. They die, so by morning, near 70 to start. Plenty of sunshine, southerly winds picking up a little bit, upper 80s by noon. I'm going to take you to about 5 p.m. 5 p.m. is about our afternoon high, and tomorrow's the first day of summer. 91 Fort Scott, Coffeyville, 90 in Miami, Joplin 91, Springfield also at about 91 degrees. Tomorrow night, quiet, heading into Saturday morning. We start mid-70s, we warm Saturday afternoon, I think most of us, again, right around 90 degrees during the afternoon hour. So yeah, it's going to be kind of warm / hot over the next couple days. The winds kind of get going a little bit for us tomorrow. Southerly winds are going to be gusting 25 upwards to 30 miles per hour at times. So a little bit on the breezy side for Friday. 75 to start, 88 by noon, that high temp. 91 during the afternoon. Let's go into the weekend. Hanging steady right around 90 degrees. A little humid out there as well. So with that humidity, we reintroduce the wonderful heat index that we always talk about during the summer months. It's back for us tomorrow, the way it feels to your skin. About 100 to 102 for us tomorrow, and then near 100 once again Saturday, and then also on Sunday. We will see those chances for a few afternoon pop-up storms back in on Monday. Highs near 90 as we go into Tuesday. Highs near 90, some afternoon pop-up storms. As we go into Wednesday, near 90, those afternoon pop-up storms. So you can kind of see that trend as we go into next week. But tomorrow looks good. 91, 90 Saturday, 90 on Sunday, near 90 most of next week. But you can see those afternoon pop-up random storms. Tanya?
We've got the perfect way for you to stay ahead of severe weather season. Scan this QR code with your phone and head straight to the updated weather resources page on our website, where you can find information on storm shelters, weather updates, closings, and road conditions. You can also find tips for watching live streams in real time It's called the Weather Resource page, KOAMnewsnow.com. Tariffs on building materials are driving up home renovation costs across the country. Coming up, learn practical tips from the pros on how to save money and avoid surprises on your next project. Home renovation costs are rising, with 60% of suppliers reporting their suppliers have increased prices or plan to because of tariffs. Nancy Chin has some tips for maximizing your home makeover.
The shingles, the pricing was going to go up next week, and we got them here and saved a few $1,000s.
David Parati's business, Fine Home Contracting, takes him all over Connecticut. But these days, the most challenging aspect of his job is keeping up with tariffs.
We get about 50% of our building materials come outside the U.S.
Really? That much?
So our main supplies, we need to look elsewhere.
Among the biggest impacts to home renovations, 50% tariffs on steel and aluminum that could affect roofs, plumbing, and electrical equipment, as well as HVAC systems. Almost a quarter of the country's available lumber supply comes from Canada and now faces a nearly 15% tariff. New appliances, tiles, and even window parts could also cost more.
In bathrooms, probably this is the most impacted for out of all the rooms.
What advice would you give people if they're thinking, I might sit this one out until tariffs go away?
If you zoom out into this industry, we were building and remodeling for about half the price 10 years ago. So unfortunately, it continues to go up. But if you were to do one project, painting is usually really nice to freshen things up. New flooring, you can definitely avoid the tariffs just by the different companies that are producing flooring.
Parati also urges clients to set aside extra money in their budgets for rising costs down the line, up to 30% in material costs alone for projects like bathrooms. He also says to work closely with suppliers to stay on top of fluctuating policy and move quickly to lock in prices when possible.
Well, Parati says if you are tackling remodeling on a budget right now, prioritize plumbing and utilities over finishing countertops. And sometimes new furniture or window treatments may do the trick.
Astro AI has recalled nearly 250,000 mini fridges.
Astro AI recalls nearly 250,000 mini fridges because they can short circuit and catch fire. The Consumer Product Safety Commission says there are at least 70 reports of fridges smoking, melting, or catching fire. 2 fires have caused damage totaling more than $360,000. Owners of the recalled product should stop using them immediately and can contact Astro AI for a free replacement. Up next, Joplin celebrates Juneteenth with dance and unity. Let's see how the community came together. The East Town Dreams District brings the Joplin community together to celebrate Juneteenth. Tonight, the group hosted a dance party in connection with Joplin's Third Thursday downtown celebration. The theme for this month, Everyone Belongs.
Just to see the people, to see everybody interacting, everybody going about their time and enjoying this event and, just shaking hands with one another.
Tomorrow night, the Juneteenth party continues at Hope Park with an evening of jazz, refreshments, and socializing. Saturday's event kicked off early with a 5K heritage run at 8 a.m. and tonight's presentation of plaques honoring elders was actually moved to Saturday as well. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way. Concert chaos at Thunder Ridge leaves fans stuck for hours. And now the Missouri Highway Patrol is working on plans to prevent future traffic nightmares. And tariffs are raising costs at local amusement parks. See how they're keeping prices down.
You're watching the 4 states' most watched news.
This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. The Missouri State Highway Patrol is shedding some light on the massive traffic jams leading up to a concert at Thunder Ridge Nature Arena near Branson last Friday. Adam Woodbray has the update.
The Highway Patrol has been assisting entities that have or planning events that could have a probable impact on traffic. particularly along or adjacent to major routes.
One of those events, a concert just last week at Thunder Ridge Nature Arena. Sergeant Mike McClure says the Highway Patrol had 8 troopers helping with traffic outside the venue.
Our mission at that is to provide visibility to ensure highway safety and compliance with traffic laws. And that's done through traffic directing, traffic control, and traffic monitoring.
As for what caused all of the backups, Bass Pro Shops, which owns Thunder Ridge, claims a deadly crash and other crashes caused delays for some of the concert goers. But the thing is, though, the Highway Patrol says that fatal crash happened around 2 o'clock that afternoon. It was cleaned up within an hour and didn't have an effect on traffic through there.
The location of that crash and the time that it occurred would have had zero impact on traffic along 65 or 86, or 13, or 160.
But for the thousands of people stuck in their cars, getting to the venue was tricky to say the least.
Jelly Roll is my wife's favorite singer. We actually got a chance to see him at Great Southern Bank Arena in Springfield last year. It was an amazing show, and she was so excited to go see him down at Thunder Ridge with Post Malone.
Camden DeCock and his wife took a rideshare from Branson to the concert to avoid parking, but they were stuck in traffic for 3 hours. Then they decided to walk the rest of the way.
And so we walked the last 2.5 miles up to the gate at Thunder Ridge, which took us another hour. So at this point, it's 9:30, and the woman scans our tickets as she tells us that Jelly Roll has already played.
That's when they decided to just call it a night and leave, which in and of itself was another challenge for people that night.
I have never been so glad to show up early to a concert in my life. Little did I know it was going to be an absolute disaster. Obviously, there's a lot of people that didn't even get into the venue or the parking lot.
In Jeremy Shevel's case, he got into the concert, but he was stuck in his car for several hours waiting to leave.
But then we got out to the parking lot and we quickly realized, like, this is a problem. I mean, we literally got to a point where we were like, okay, we're just going to turn our car off because we don't want to run out of gas and be stuck here.
So what can be done to avoid future traffic headaches? Well, that's something Sergeant McClure couldn't give specifics on, but says the Highway Patrol is meeting with Thunder Ridge about it.
And we've had those meetings since, the first event that they had, I believe, was Garth Brooks' major event. So we have been included in planning and or giving suggestions on what can be done to improve.
Well, Ticketmaster says they are issuing refunds for concert goers who could not get in. Well, higher global temperatures could crush food crops worldwide over the next few decades. Researchers say the overall food system could fall 50% by the end of the century, and that's according to an 8-year study published in the journal Nature. Scientists studied 6 crops, including maize, rice, and wheat. They found that for every 1 degree Celsius the world warms above pre-industrial levels, global food production drops by roughly 120 calories per person daily. That could eventually cause food prices to rise and make access to getting food more difficult. Researchers say global warming will greatly affect the U.S. in particular, where crop yields for most crops, aside from rice, are expected to be reduced by at least 40%. Well, the sun won't be the only thing making people sweat this summer, as tariff uncertainty causes wallet worries for families looking to stay busy on a budget this season. Instead of traveling far and wide, some families are eyeing local amusement parks. But like many businesses, even these attractions are not immune to having tariffs possibly impact their bottom line. Ted Linder takes a closer look at how some parks are trying to keep prices low.
With summer vacation season priming up, families looking for some frugal fun may want to hit up local amusement parks. Instead of larger and more costly venues that may be out of state.
Castaway Cove is an amusement park on the Ocean City Boardwalk. We have 30 rides.
With the rising cost of everything, Castaway Cove is very affordable.
But ongoing disputes over tariffs on Chinese and other foreign goods have some businesses worrying over how much their supplies might wind up costing.
China has been ripping off the United States for many years.
Experts on trade say the main idea behind tariffs is to stimulate domestic production, but they can drive up prices for consumers because businesses wind up paying more to import certain goods.
Tariffs are quite simply taxes on imports. So if there's $1 million worth of goods coming in from a foreign country and the tax is 50%, they owe $500,000 in order to bring it into the bring it into the country.
Many local amusement parks get their rides and supplies from overseas.
Any parts that we try to order that might come from Italy or Germany or anywhere overseas, China, from our stuffed animals that we use in our games and our cranes in our arcade.
Some local parks are adapting their strategies to save money.
So typically this warehouse would be half full, but because of the unknown with the tariffs this year, we had to go ahead and pre-purchase pretty much for the entire summer to try to beat the tariffs before they went into effect and try to save that cost so we could keep our prices down for our guests.
But there's no guarantee prices can stay down forever.
Right now, again, we're kind of eating that cost at the moment.
Ted Lindner, Fox News.
Well, Doug is next with a complete look at your forecast. And later, Cecil Floyd Elementary in Joplin is offering a unique summer school learning experience. See how they're blending art, music, and Spanish into one class.
Well, of course, a warm day or teetering on a hot day across the region for us today. Upper 80s to near 90 degrees. Gets a little bit hotter as we go through the next couple days, but we are dry, which is good. Past day, we have been on the dry side. We do have some thunderstorms out across western Kansas. They're not going to make it here. They're going to fall apart before they do make it here. What gave us all the severe weather is this upper level wave across the eastern third of the country. But focus on this now. You can see the clockwise rotation, big dome, high pressure, moving right in, right on top of us as we go through the next few days. So when you're under high pressure, especially in the summer months, you're hot and you're dry. And that's what we're going to see as we go through the next several days. Let me take you through the weekend. High pressure slowly meanders its way off toward the east, still close enough to keep us hot and dry. As we go through early next week, slowly kind of breaks down. Now watch how the moisture return from the Gulf right into the Central Plains. A very typical summer-like pattern where you heat up, you have sunny skies, you get a random thunderstorm during the afternoon, but we're pretty much going to do that every single day next week. High pressure breaks down late next week, and we get some weak little waves which kind of push through the region. Let me take you through the next couple days. Thunderstorms to the west, they die, so by morning, near 70 to start. Plenty of sunshine, southerly winds picking up a little bit, upper 80s by noon. I'm going to take you to about 5 p.m. 5 p.m. is about our afternoon high, and tomorrow's the first day of summer. 91 Fort Scott, Coffeyville, 90 in Miami, Joplin 91, Springfield also at about 91 degrees. Tomorrow night, quiet, heading into Saturday morning. We start mid-70s, we warm Saturday afternoon, I think most of us, again, right around 90 degrees during the afternoon hour. So yeah, it's going to be kind of warm / hot over the next couple days. The winds kind of get going a little bit for us tomorrow. Southerly winds are going to be gusting 25 upwards to 30 miles per hour at times. So a little bit on the breezy side for Friday. 75 to start, 88 by noon, that high temp, 91 during the afternoon. Let's go into the weekend. Hanging steady right around 90 degrees, a little humid out there as well. So with that humidity, we reintroduce the wonderful heat index that we always talk about during the summer months. It's back for us tomorrow, the way it feels to your skin. About 100 to 102 for us tomorrow, and then near 100 once again Saturday, and then also on Sunday. We will see those chances for a few afternoon pop-up storms back in on Monday. Highs near 90 as we go into Tuesday. Highs near 90, some afternoon pop-up storms. As we go into Wednesday, near 90, those afternoon pop-up storms. So you can kind of see that trend as we go into next week. But tomorrow looks good. 91, 90 Saturday, 90 on Sunday, near 90 most of next week. But you can see those afternoon pop-up random storms. Tanya?
All right, thanks, Doug. Well, still ahead, 2 boys from Riverton, Kansas are representing the USA in an international basketball tournament. Ben McLeish tells the story of the Richardson brothers. That's up next in sports. Next week, brothers Jamie and Tarek Richardson are heading to France to represent the United States in PhD Hoops 20 and Under Paris World Games Tour. KOAM sports reporter Ben McLeish tells the story of the 2 brothers' journey to the world stage.
Nestled in the southeast corner of Kansas, the town of Riverton is home to fewer than 1,000 people. Yet in less than a week, 2 boys from that very town are heading to Paris.
I was really excited. First, I was a little shocked.
To represent their country, their hometown, on the world stage, playing the game they love, a game they've known since before they could walk.
So they were literally basketball in their hand when they were born.
PhD Hoops selected Jamie and Tarek Richardson to represent the United States in the 20U Paris World Games Tour.
Obviously just a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so had to take it.
And since the news broke 3 months ago, the support for the two brothers has been non-stop. From family, friends, and the entire community.
I am just blown away, proud of them.
To see 2 of our boys come from, our small school, our small community, and have an opportunity to wear USA on their uniform, that means a lot to everybody here.
But their journey to becoming international athletes has been anything but typical. Their father, Jamie Richardson Sr., was a basketball star in his own right, a 2-year starter at Pittsburgh State, who's still the program's all-time blocks leader. But a month before Tarek was born, when Jamie Jr. was just 2, Richardson Sr. was tragically killed.
When he died, I said, basketball is just it's gonna just be in the family.
He never got the chance to attend their games, coach their teams, or shoot hoops with them in the driveway. But he's been with them every step of the way.
For me, my biggest motivator is still something I have in common with my father.
One of my biggest motivators is my dad. I've always looked up to him. Never got the opportunity to meet him, but I want to make him proud.
And they emulate their father on and off the court.
He loved to just make people smile and make people laugh, a positive role model, and that's exactly what the boys have become. They are both a piece of him, and it's cool.
The Richardson brothers have poured their hearts into the game of basketball, driven by a desire to honor their father and to serve as role models for their community. And now it's clear, their dedication has paid off.
He's opened up this door for you guys to go be great and go play on an international platform and go represent, go make him proud.
Ben McLeish, KOAM News.
According to PhD Hoops, the brothers were chosen for the team because of their talent, playing ability, character, and desire to be a part of the once-in-a-lifetime experience. We're back with more news after this. A teacher from Joplin is offering a unique summer class for children kindergarten through 5th grade. KOAM's Mitch Adams visited Cecil Floyd Elementary this morning to show us how he's blending 3 subjects into one.
I go home and I'm just, super content, super happy that I get to do this every day. It's just a super fun opportunity.
Luke Smith is a teacher at Cecil Floyd Elementary School in Joplin. This summer, he's been given a chance to teach a summer class, a class that combines art, music, and learning Spanish.
There's not normally a Spanish class specifically, but I am certified in art and Spanish, and I wanted to teach summer school. And so I decided to try and figure out a way to integrate those 2 together.
Smith says he brought his idea of combining the subjects to the district, where they agreed to let him try it out.
Art fundamentally is about communication and expression. And so I think learning a language along with it actually makes a lot of sense because they both are about how we communicate with each other.
This opportunity has given Mr. Smith a chance to teach something he's passionate about.
It is the most fun way to teach anything for me. It's like to make up songs, teach the kids how to sing them, and then sing along with them. And then, eventually they get to where you can just strum the chords and they can sing on their own.
The main goal for Smith is to get young students to try new things.
A lot of the kids, when they started, were like, well, I don't speak Spanish. And it's the same thing with when they come into an art class or they start a new project. Some kids will say, I don't do art, I'm not good at art. And as a teacher, my mission is to make kids believe you can learn to do hard things, you can make art, you can learn Spanish, you can succeed in any of these things as long as you're willing to try.
In Joplin, Missouri, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
Class will continue through the rest of the summer with new lessons taught to the kids each week. Up next, Reese Witherspoon launches Hello Sunshine's Gen Z spinoff. That story and more in Hollywood Nation. Jeremy Allen White channels his inner rock star, and Reese Witherspoon makes a move for Gen Z. Fox's Ashley Dvorkin has the latest in today's Hollywood Nation.
Jeremy rocks out, Principal Dort recruits, and Reese's media empire expands in the Hollywood Nation. Reese Witherspoon is shining a light on the next generation. The actor and producer announced Sunny, a Gen Z-focused spin-off of her Hello Sunshine media company. The multi-platform project aims to inspire and support young women through content, community, and creativity. It will feature social content, book clubs, digital curriculum, and global events, plus collaborations with actors and influencers.
Greetings, fellow outcasts, and welcome back to Nevermore Academy.
Nevermore Academy is accepting new recruits. Netflix relaunched the Wednesday recruitment website, featuring a cryptic welcome video from the new headmaster, Principal Dort, played by Steve Buscemi. The relaunch comes ahead of season 2 with Jenna Ortega back in her iconic role. The 2-part season returns August 6th.
I must make it right.
The end is near for Dream in today's first looks. Netflix dropped the trailer to the second and final 2-part season of The Sandman. Tom Sturridge returns as Dream, now facing the fallout of his past and a fateful family reunion. Part 1 premieres July 3rd, followed by Part 2 July 24th.
I do know who you are. Well, that makes one of us.
Jeremy Allen White channels the boss in Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere. The trailer features White performing the hit song Born to Run as Bruce Springsteen. The biopic centers on the making of his 1982 record, Nebraska, which the legendary singer recorded on a 4-track in his New Jersey bedroom. The film arrives in theaters October 24th. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
That's our time for tonight. Thank you for joining us. We're going to leave you with video of a new koala Joey at a zoo in Australia. Have a great night and an even better tomorrow.